This is Brett with GuitarJams.com again. Today we're going to do a little metal. So, it's a lot easier than it actually sounds. So we're going to break it down really slow. We're going to do a riff that just incorporates one finger position, and you're just moving it around the neck, followed by a little open string muting. That's it. Maybe a G chord and a D, and that's it. So what we're going to do is we're going to do another riff in A. And all you got to do is keep the strings kind of quiet. One of the things that beginners can learn and really benefit from is learning how to mute with your palm, so you don't get a bunch of open strings. Like I can do the same run, and I'll show you. Like I'll keep some of the strings open, and we'll see what we get. Right, so it's kind of messy and doesn't sound really all that spectacular. And yeah, so anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to palm mute. How you palm mute is you just simply how it sounds. You just put your flesh of your palm right here, right basically where your strings come over the bridge. Now depending on how much you want the note to ring out, you can bring your palm forward and get a really muted, really percussive, or you can get more open string with the farther you go back with your palm. So again, we got really muted. And it just allows more of the string sound to come through. It gives it a little bit more sustain. So on that particular riff I did in the beginning, all it is one pattern. We got. So you're hitting an A chord. The numbers is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So about 7 open A strings between each riff. The rest of the song is just we're gonna do A, which is on the 2nd fret. The only 2 strings that really matter are the D and the G. I do all 3 just for fun. It's a little percussive. And then we're gonna move that same position, same finger up to the 4th fret, and then up 1 more fret, and you're there. So all together we got. That's where I add in the G and the D chord. I don't do a full typical G. All I do is I keep my middle finger on the 6th string, 3rd fret, and then I tuck my pinky and my ring finger on the 3rd fret of the B and the E strings, and then I mute. With this finger, I mute the A string. So the strings that are ringing open, we got the E, D, G, B, E. And then I just do a 2-finger D chord because I'm only hitting these 3 strings. I'm hitting the D, G, and B strings. So all together, I'll do it up to speed. Never underestimate the slide. Adds a little, a little flair. It's always nice. But anyway, slow. We got. Then you can add little riffs. Just for fun. So when I taught, a number of students would ask about picking technique. Picking technique to me is really personal. It really is just what is comfortable for you. Some people pick, when they're doing alternate picking, which is what we're doing, is just a simple down and up stroke repeated over and over. That's alternate picking. Some people pick more down and up. Some people pick more flat. And then I used to come from where I would pick almost into the string and up, like this. And it just depends on what's comfortable for you. But what you want to do is, depending on how you hold your pick, like some beginning students, when they're not really comfortable with what this hand does, they'll hold the pick really loose in between fingers, like your thumb and your first finger, like this, and there's no real support. So what I do in my personal technique is I turn the pick a little bit, and then I tuck this finger under, so it provides a little, it's a little more rigid, and it cuts through the string easier. If you do it the other way, your pick can just, it flops all around, and it makes your pick kind of bounce on the string. With this, you're more wanting to go through the string. You don't have to. It's not something that you have to do hard, but also you want to choke up on your pick. Like a lot of beginners will play with like this much hanging in the open, and it's just too much. It gets down in between the strings, and you know your pick will go flying. So what you want to do is choke way up on the pick, and you know, just start slow. That's the number one thing that you've got to do when you're starting guitar. I know it's tempting to want to always just, you see the guy just burning on guitar and it's like, I gotta play fast, and everything goes out the window. But what you need to do is you've got to start and play slow. So, you know, even for me, I hate playing slow. I sound terrible playing slow, so of course I want to play everything up to speed that I'm comfortable at. But really, when you want to get proficient at something, and really, you know, if you're wanting to become a good guitar player, or, you know, even better, do it for a career, always start slow. You can always speed up. So you can play with a metronome, you know, you get, you know, between the clicks, so it's like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and, you know, in between each click, or, you know, just practice, you know, in your free time, just... Again, it's what's comfortable for you. You know, you can do it like this, or like this, or more, you know, whatever picking angle works for you. One thing you can do is you don't really have to go too far past the string. If you want to get faster, it's better to keep, instead of flopping all over the guitar, it's better to keep the picking area that you're going with your hand more focused. You know, so you're not going too far past or too far above the string. You know, you can get all crazy, but then you're gonna, you know, it's more likely you'll hit other strings. So always keep it muted. You know, sometimes when you're doing stuff clean, it's not a big a deal if the note rings, but with distortion, it just starts to sound really sloppy. So if you're using distortion, you know, just practice muting. Again, here we go. And you can always speed it up. Again, I'm getting more of that, I'm helping the pick not go around as much by tucking my finger in and giving it a little more of a bass. When you do funk and stuff like this, I'll change my picking attack to where when you want it loose and you want the thing flopping around a little bit, you can change your picking technique. But for picking fast, I would tuck this in. And, you know, just whatever works for you. I mean, you can see 100 different people doing 100 different picking techniques. Really stick for what works with you. I remember when I went to music school, I used to be able to pick pretty fast and pretty fluent, and this guy was like, no, you're picking all wrong. You can't do it like that. It's got to be like this. And it was like the soup knots. He'd like hit me, you know, with the ruler if I wasn't picking the way he picked. And it completely ruined my picking technique, and it was hard to ever recuperate. So, you know, obviously there's good tips and instruction, and maybe an instructor is seeing something that, you know, that would help you, and you know, always listen to them, because if they're coming from experience, you know, it's good to listen. But also, when you get proficient enough and you're finding out what really works for you, that could be something that makes the difference in how you sound as a guitar player. So if it's working for you, I would just stick with it. And you know, that's all for the picking.
Play the riff one more time.
Let's do the riff one more time. So, you know, it's cool to practice open string, you know, and kind of do that whole bit. But it's really fun when you actually can apply it and make something musical out of it. So take those first, you know, you can go all over the neck. You don't have to just stick to those four, you know, chords that we were doing, or you can change chord patterns. But like, let's just take that, you know, for an example, and we'll just do something different with it. You know, that's just like adding a couple notes in there. You can say you want to do, you know, like the one we were doing earlier. You can change it up, or you can do it, you know, something, a different chord, faster maybe. You know, it's all, from there, it's all up to you. Once again, thanks for watching. Check us out at guitarjams.com.